If you're watching this video, you're probably wondering, how do I create passive income with my stocks? Well, I'm here to tell you, if someone tells you that, they're probably just trying to sell you something. Because the truth is, stock trading is not passive at all. In fact, I used to be a stock trader, and I can tell you first and foremost, the people that make the most money in stocks are usually the ones teaching you that you can make passive income from stocks. So don't be discouraged. You can actually make money in stocks, but I'm going to show you a better way to do it as well. All right, so first and foremost, let's talk about what kind of returns can you get from stocks? Is it really passive or not? And more importantly, where else could I be investing to get better passive income than what I could possibly get in the stock market? Right, as I mentioned, stocks can produce income for you. But remember this, that usually the best way to produce income from stocks that's passive, if you're really looking for something that's actually passive, it's called dividends. There are stocks out there, and they're usually bigger company stocks, like your General Electric, you're looking at like your older companies often that you'll see out there. You might get it from like Apple or whatnot, but if you notice, those stocks kind of vary a lot more. They pay less dividends. So the stocks that tend to go up and down a lot, those ones usually just make money off the ups and the downs. You might make a little bit on the dividend side, but it's usually the older companies, the more stable companies, the conglomerates. Those are the kind of things that just pay regular dividends. And you can actually Google and look up which stocks pay the higher dividends. You can actually do that. It's actually not hard. You don't even need me to teach you that. But you can look up those, but don't expect much more than maybe a 6, maybe a 7% dividend that you might get. Most of the time, stocks will pay less than 6%. So be very careful. If you're looking up that PepsiCo, wherever it might be, yes, they might make you money, but it's not gonna make you a killing. It's not gonna make you rich like they all claim to be. Now, the ones that usually claim to make you rich, those are usually the ones that are the stock traders, right? And they'll try to sell you on their program. They'll tell you, hey, you could do nothing. You could sit behind your computer a few minutes a day. You can manage your stock portfolio. You can make lots of money, or you could trade options and do covered calls or spreads and all these kind of terms that they'll throw out there, right? And hey, I didn't have to do anything, and I made 120,000% return on my money. They'll tell you all these kind of things. And I know these gimmicks because I worked for companies like this. I used to be a stock trader and a stock coach myself. I would teach people how to trade stocks, how to trade options, how you can create income from it. And here's the one thing I can promise you, it is not passive at all. It is not passive income. Never has been, and probably never will be. No matter what kind of AI technology or automated sequences they have, the technology can be great. It can help you. But don't for 1 second believe that you can just set your money in there and let it do its thing. You have to manage it. You have to babysit it. And the way I know this is because I actually have a client who was, or still is, an options trader that teaches people and sells his options trading program. And he came to me. Why? He said, Chris, I love options trading. I love it. I do make good money from it. But let's be honest, Chris, I'm not free. I have to always be in front of my computer on a daily basis. I can't just set my money in there and do nothing. I want to know how to make true passive income. Understand this, if someone who sells you options trading programs that like everybody else does out there that says it's passive is asking me, Chris, how do I make passive income? Shouldn't you question whether it's passive too? So just remember, even if you're a day traders might be, again, they can make money quickly and make a lot of money, but you are actively trading. I will give you this tip. This is a little bonus for you in this video. From my experience working with hundreds of clients in the stock trading and options trading realm, the ones that actually do make more money are the ones that love the trading, whether they make money or not. It was always the people that said, Chris, I just want to get out of my job. Chris, I just want to be at a place where I don't have to deal with people anymore. Those people lost money in the markets. They could do it a little bit if I was holding their hand, but once I was out of the picture, once nobody was holding them accountable anymore, they didn't really make good money. The people that made the best money, even when I wasn't helping them and guiding them anymore, were the ones that loved trading. They would like to eat, sleep, and drink it all day long. They just had a huge passion for it, a love for it. That was such a few handful of people I ever worked with that were actually in that place. But those people did actually become better traders. Now, they were never passive, but they at least made positive returns compared to the others who usually end up making mediocre returns at best. They'd probably be better off just putting their money in the S&P 500 because they just didn't have the mental or emotional discipline to do it, and they had the wrong reasons. So if you're the person, like a lot of people that teach you and try to sell you on the program, they like to eat, sleep, and drink trading. They love the markets. They love doing that kind of stuff. Those are the people that actually make money. But it's an active stream of income, never passive, it's active. It's like having a part-time job. So if you want to be passive, you got to do like what my client did, which is, hey, I'll be honest, trading is not passive. What do I do that's actually passive? Well, here's some of the ideas that I have. This is what I did for myself too, because I learned the same thing he did. I realized that I actually got kind of bored trading after a while. I remember it was during the Great Recession. I was doing it, but I was like, it's just not as much fun. I'm gambling. I'm not really making good money with this. I'm making money, but I can be making more by doing less, right? And that's what I wanted. I wanted that leverage. I wanted to be able to take a vacation and not worry about my portfolio. And so I started getting more into the real estate space. Now, there's also a lot of liars in the real estate space. They'll tell you it's passive income, but what they're telling you to do is how do you create a full-time or overtime job, flipping properties or wholesaling properties or whatever it might be. Don't believe them for 1 minute that that's passive either. Passive income means that you're not the one doing the investing. You have the money, you have the capital, and you have your money working with them, with somebody else that's doing the work. For example, when I invest, I loan my money out to other people. I can lend my money at 10, 12, sometimes 15+% a year and lend them the money while they do all the work, and they have to pay me back as being like the bank. I love that. Now, there are some risks that I take with that. I have to make sure it's going with the right person in the right deals. So is there upfront work to make sure it's a good deal? Yeah, I might spend several minutes making sure it's a good deal, but that could pay me for months or even years if I do it the right way. I've also got partnerships. For example, I've got a partnership where the business owners that do all the investing for me, they buy and sell raw land, and they're always buying and selling it. Well, that over $400,000 is generating over $11,000 a month for me. Guys, that's over $130,000 a year I'm making that, again, I just use my money and then they're doing the work and creating the returns. Yes, we're splitting the profits, right? We're able to split it. But man, it's so awesome that I don't have to do the work. I don't have to learn all the things that they've learned. I can understand it. I can understand what they're doing, but I let them put their time and energy into doing that while I just put my money into it. Other options too, is I can go invest in other partnerships like syndications, where you can pool your money with other investors and go into like apartments. You can go into self-storage units. You can even go into businesses like car washes. You can even go into oil and gas ventures. There's a lot of ways you can actually pool your money with other investors to go and do big deals. Now, again, there's always risk, right? You can always lose your money at any time. But then again, if you're already asking about how to make passive income in the stock market, you already know you could lose everything. Because, by the way, I've had clients actually lose everything because they took unnecessary risks trading their money in the market. At least with real estate, you've got a real asset there. Could you lose your money? Yes, you can. Especially if you're putting your money with somebody else, there's a large amount of trust. You have to make sure you have a good operator. I like to use people that have been doing the same kind of investing that you're going into for at least the last 12 to 15 years. If they've been doing that for the last 12 or 15 years, I feel a little bit more confident in them and their skill than someone who said, hey, 2018, I just showed up and I started real estate investing and I think it's pretty awesome. No, I don't want people that don't have good experience. I want somebody who actually knows what they're doing and can help me make more money. So guys, that's what I do to make more money. Yes, you can buy individual stocks, especially those older companies or larger companies, conglomerates. You put money with them, they often will pay you dividends. You won't make much on the stock side, but you can earn some dividends, but don't expect much more than maybe 6 or 7%. If you've got a large amount of money, millions of dollars, that could be more than enough for you. And you know what? It could be a great part of your portfolio. But I'll tell you this, from a standpoint of most of the people that we talk to, which are usually middle to upper middle class, they want to figure out what they can do to get hundreds of thousands, maybe even a few $1 million working harder for them, to get double-digit returns like you can get in real estate and have something back it up with real assets like real estate. Man, that's hard. That's very hard to beat. All right, so recap here, guys. The big thing is, like I said, you can invest in the stock market, but I prefer real estate. The choice is up to you. I'm not giving you investment advice, so I'm not held liable for what you do. But remember, if you're going to take a big risk in the market, why not take less risk in buying real assets that can actually cash flow better than what you might be able to do in the stock trading game? And again, if you don't want to be someone who has a part-time job trading stocks and options, maybe that's not for you. Maybe it is. If that's something you would love to do, and regardless of whether you made money, you just love the hunt, then do that. But I would recommend, if you'd like to look at other type of alternative investments, you can actually go follow our Money Ripples podcast. It's actually on our Money Ripples podcast channel. You can actually follow our podcast. We have lots of different ideas, different ways you can actually create passive income. And in fact, if you have money right now, you can go to moneyripples.com, try the passive income calculator today to figure out how much passive income you could actually create in these kind of alternative investments. So go and check that out right now.